Hello, and welcome to the Energizer. I'm Vicki Van Horn. This brief practice is designed to sharpen your focus and boost your energy. So, if you're feeling drained or if you're struggling to get or stay focused, this practice may help. Be sure that you're practicing in a well lit area with plenty of space for your movement and free of obstacles. Tools called props may come in handy to keep your practice comfortable. For instance, you may want to practice on a fitness or a yoga mat on the floor, or placing a large towel on the ground. Or you may wish to practice in a chair. Be sure that you don't push past any edges of resistance and simply do what you can do. If something feels inherently wrong in your body, then by all means, do not do it. Simply wait for the next modification to come around if one doesn't naturally come to you, or just sit and breathe. Today with me is Benita and Pat, and together we will be walking you through this practice. This energizing sequence is meant to invite your body, your breath, and your mind into harmony. So let's get started. Let's begin in a comfortable, stable, steady seat. So allow yourself to sit well on your mat or in your chair in a way that feels stacked and comfortable. This time of centering is meant to raise your awareness of your body, your mind, and your breath and bring you more fully into your present moment. So, lifting your crown of your head towards the sky, stacking your shoulders over your hips, relaxing your legs. Take a moment to close your eyes if that's appropriate for where you are. Once your eyes are closed, simply notice what you notice. Feel gravity. Notice the way your breath expands your torso as you breathe in. Notice the way your exhales contract your ribs as you breathe out. Inhales, the body expands. Exhale, hands, hips, legs, feet get heavy. And for 2 or 3 more rounds of breath, follow your breath from the tip of your nose to your navel, and from your navel to your nose. When the time is right for you, allow your chin to melt towards your chest. Flutter the eyes gently open and lift your chin parallel to the floor. Welcome to your practice. From here, we're going to begin to warm up the spine from the top down. So, sitting well, sitting tall, take a full breath in. And as you exhale, turn your head and let your gaze look to the left. Notice what you feel on your right shoulder. And then inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, turn your head to the right. Inhale, come back to the center. And take a few more glances to your left and to your right on your own in your own time. Notice what you feel in your shoulders. And as you bring your head back to the center, lift once again your crown towards the sky. Reach the back of your head gently towards the wall behind you and let your chin come down towards the base of the throat. Invite your shoulders to relax down and away from your ears, and then lift your chin. Now let's bring that movement and warming down deeper into the spine with a 2 breath shoulder flow. So, first, bring your hands together, rub your hands for warmth. This is opening up and warming the tissues in your hands, your fingers, your wrists, and your forearms. And then bring your palms together, interlace your fingers, and take a breath in. Exhale, flip your palms, round the upper back. Perhaps your chin comes to your chest. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, maybe bending your elbows for comfort. And then exhale, release the hands. Inhale, interlace the fingers. Exhale, flip the palms chin to chest. Inhale, lift the arms to the sky, and then exhale, release. We'll do that one more time. This time, go on your own. Let's all meet back in seated. And now let's bring the entire spine into the flow with a cat cow. So, from where you are seated on your mat, roll your body forward. If you're seated in a chair, hold tight. We'll be right there. As you come into this tabletop shape, spread your fingers wide. Bring your hands under your shoulders and knees under the hips. Tap the tops of your feet gently on the floor and then come into stillness. On your next inhale, allow your belly to reach gently for the floor, back of the head, back of the shoulders, back of the hips. Reach. The arms are long. And then as you exhale, round the back, tuck the hips, tuck the chin towards the chest. Come into cat. Inhale back into cow and exhale into cat. Now, if you take a look at Bonita for a moment, you'll notice that her belly is reaching towards the floor. Back of the head, back of the hips are up. As she flips her breath and comes into her exhale, the hips are gently scooping under. The chin is coming comfortably to the chest. Bonita, keep practicing cat cow for a few more rounds. If you're seated in a chair, follow Pat. Stand up out of your chair, turn the seat of your chair to face you, and then bring your hands to the seat. Find a comfortable grip, whether that's palms down or fingers taking the sides, and bring your shoulders right over your hands. Keep your ankles under your hips. And when you are ready, inhale, belly reaches gently for the floor, back of the head, back of the hips, back of the shoulders lift. As you exhale, round the back, scoop and tuck the hips under, chin comes comfortably towards the chest. And then go through this flow of cat cow, inhaling on cow, exhaling on cat several more times. Now, from here, we're going to slowly make our way into a forward fold. So just come to your neutral tabletop and then curl your toes under. And we're going to start to come into puppy and downward dog to move towards our forward fold. So if you're on a mat, follow Bonita by reaching your hips back towards your heels, lengthening your arms in front of you, and sliding your hands forward. The ears are coming between the upper arms, and the hips are hugging back. Again, just do what you can do and what feels right in your body. Then on your next inhale, bring your upper body back into your tabletop. Keep your toes curled under, and then lift your knees, lift your hips, coming into this A-frame shape downward dog. When you first come into this, it may feel nice to walk your legs. This helps to bring some blood flow and lengthening into your calves, your hamstrings, works the quads and the soles of the feet. Then take a moment to come into some stillness. Press into your hands, look at the space between your hands, and then point the crown of your head towards that space. As you press into your hands, reach your tailbone and sits bones away from your hands, lengthening out your torso. On an inhale, lift up onto the balls or toes of your feet. And as you exhale, lengthen your heels down towards the floor. And then, Bonita, when you're ready, allow your knees to come back to the floor and come to seated. If you're practicing in a chair, take a moment to come into that tabletop, find your alignment, and then from here, start to walk your feet back, maybe a foot or two, bringing your upper body parallel to the floor. Bring your hips over your heels, lengthen your arms, and point the crown of your head towards the space between your hands or the back of the chair. Bend your knees for comfort. Press your hands into the chair, but then reach your hips gently back away from your hands, bringing length into the left and right side ribs and the low back. Keep breathing naturally, and then when you're ready, lift your head from between your upper arms, walk your feet forward, and come back into your tabletop. Here, we're going to make our way into a forward fold. So, Benita, if you'll lift your knees, come back into your downward dog. Pat is already in tabletop. Start to walk your feet towards the chair or your hands if you're on the mat. And we're in a forward fold. So, with your fingertips on the floor or your hands in front of your ankles, we'll walk our legs for just a moment. And then inhale, lift your upper body up halfway, hinging from your hips. In this half fold position, bring your hands to your hips, a little micro bend in the knees. And then inhale, lift your body all the way up to standing and release your hands. So, from here, we're going to explore 2 standing postures and 1 breathing technique. So, first, half moon 1. Check in with your feet. Make sure your feet are hip width apart and your feet are parallel to one another. Bring your hands down by your side, palms facing forward. This brings the shoulder blades a little more on to the back. And when you're ready, inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. With your left hand, find your right wrist. Wrap your fingers around your wrist, spread the fingers of your right hand wide. Root and ground into both feet. Press your feet gently away from one another. And then take a very shallow C curve banana reach over to the left. The more we root and ground into the right foot, the more stable we feel. Maybe look down at the floor. Maybe look up at the sky. Press your feet away from one another. Bring your gaze forward if you turned it. Then bring your arms back to center. Release your hands, lower them by your side. And if you need a little more blood flow in the hands from that lift, shake your hands out. All right, reset for coming to the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Feel the way your ribs expand as you reach up. This time, the right hand will find the left wrist. Root and ground both feet into the floor. Reach your crown towards the sky. Full, smooth, easy breath in. And then exhale, a gentle banana curve reach to the right. Notice what's happening in your left ribs. Don't go past any edges of resistance. Maybe look at the ground. Maybe look up at your lifted elbow. Bring your gaze back forward if you turned it. Press your feet away from one another. Use your legs to come back to center and release the hands. Next, we're going to explore breath of joy. This is meant to invigorate the body by lengthening the inhales and releasing tension on the exhales. So we'll demonstrate the flow of the arms. This is a 3-part inhale. So the first third, we'll reach the arms out to the front. We'll hold the breath, bring the hands back to the hips. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the left and to the right. Hold the breath, bring the hands back to the hips. And then sweep the arms all the way up to the sky, taking that last third of breath in. And then hinge from the hips, forward fold, release the breath through the mouth. Inhale, roll your body back up, maybe coming up halfway and then to standing or rolling your back up 1 vertebra at a time. All right, so we're going to do this 3 times. Come into standing, lift the crown, lift your heart, and here we go. Inhale, 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 release. When you're ready, make your way back to standing. Inhale, 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 release. Inhale, coming halfway up or rolling the vertebra back to standing. Last time on your own. And slowly make your way back up to standing. And to conclude our practice, we're going to visit the strongest, most stable of the standing postures, mountain. For this, check in with your feet once again. Press your feet into the mat and press the feet gently away from one another. Notice where your tailbone is in your body and reach your tailbone down to the space between your heels. Hug your navel gently back towards your spine. Lift your heart. Now, if your shoulders went with your heart, bring your fingers to reach for the floor. Chin parallel to the ground. Crown of the head reaching for the sky. Mountain. And then sweep the arms up towards the sky. Bring your palms together. Exhale, release your hands down to heart center, bringing your thumbs to nestle into your breastplate. Thank you for your practice, and on behalf of myself, Benita, and Pat, we say namaste.